The consequences of broken promises. When we speak of la Santa Muerte, we speak of a force beyond human understanding, one that transcends time, cultures, and faith. She is not a mere spirit to be summoned at will, nor a genie granting wishes without consequence. She is sacred, powerful, and bound to the divine law of God. Yet time and time again, people seek her blessings without considering the weight of their actions. They make promises in moments of desperation, vowing candles, prayers, offerings, some even swearing lifelong devotion, only to turn away once their petitions are answered. They see faith as a bargaining tool, as if they can manipulate the forces of the divine. But the spiritual world does not work this way. When you make a promise and break it, you are not simply offending Santa Muerte. You are offending the very fabric of spiritual law. In the same way that dishonesty, betrayal, and deceit have consequences in the physical world, they also have consequences in the spiritual world. Consider this: if you ask someone for help in your time of need, if you beg for their aid and swear that you will repay them, and then turn your back on them once you are safe, what does that say about you? Would that person ever trust you again? Would they ever offer their hand to you a second time? Now consider the divine. Santa Muerte is a spirit of justice. She does not act out of anger or revenge, but she does act out of fairness. If you betray her trust, if you make promises and fail to keep them, do you think she will continue to answer your calls? Do you believe she will continue to protect you when you have shown that you are not loyal and your loyalty is weak? Too often people treat her as a last resort. They turn to her only when all else fails, when they are out of options, when no one else will listen. And she, in her mercy, still listens. She sees the suffering of the desperate, the cries of the forgotten, the pleas of those abandoned by others. But once she grants what is asked, once the storm passes, how many truly remain devoted? Some offer excuses. I was desperate, they say. I didn't think I'd have to keep my promise. Or worse, I got what I wanted. That's all that matters. But what they fail to understand is this: a broken promise is not forgotten. When you strike a deal with her, whether through prayer, offering, or spoken word, you are entering into a spiritual contract. You may think that once your problem is solved, you can walk away without consequence. But energy does not disappear. What you put out into the universe must come back to you. For those who have received her blessings and then turned their backs, life has a way of reminding them of their broken word. They may find themselves facing the same struggles they once overcame. They may find their luck turning sour, their peace disrupted, their protection weakened. This is not punishment. It is balance. It is justice. It is the natural result of their own actions. And for those who have sought her aid through a spiritual worker like me, through a devoted soul who has done the work on their behalf, the consequences are no less severe. If you ask a devotee to petition Santa Muerte for you, if you request a ceremony, a prayer, a ritual, and the prayer is answered, you are not only indebted to Santa Muerte, but also to the one who acted as the bridge between you and her. It is an insult to both the divine and the spiritual worker when someone refuses to acknowledge the blessings they have received. To go back on your word is to spit in the face of the very forces that lifted you up. And when you act in such a way, you will find the doors that were once open begin to close. The protection that once surrounded you begin to fade. The same energy that helped you can just as easily be withdrawn. But this is not a threat. It is a lesson. Faith is not about convenience. It is about trust. It is about respect. Santa Muerte does not demand, but she does demand honesty. If you cannot remain devoted, if you are not willing to follow through on your word, then do not make promises you cannot keep. Do not seek favors from a force you do not truly respect, because just as she can bless, she can also withdraw her hand. And those who have known her blessings and then turned away often realize too late that they have lost something irreplaceable.